Joe joins us now alongside the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting. Good morning to you, chaps.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. That is so cute. I mean, you can't help but stand up, get motivated, and it's perfect because it's just 5 minutes a session, Joe.
Yeah, I'm quite emotional to see it, on TV and to see the response that it's had this morning. We went to a school yesterday and launched it, 44 kids in a room. I just pressed play and they were just from the age of sort of 4 to 7 years old and really got moving. All of them walked out with a big smile on their face. And this is what it's all about. I'm so passionate about this. And it comes back to, back to my childhood. Like, I needed sport and exercise. It changed my life. It helped me with the chaos of living at home with an addict and someone with mental health issues. And so I know the importance. And when I connect the dots between movement and exercise and how I felt, it completely changed. It was my therapy from a young age. So I'm trying to, again, continue the legacy of PE with Joe, get young children moving more often and having fun in the process. And I really hope this does that,
And unquestionably, Health Secretary, having a weapon like Joe Wicks in your armoury is hugely valuable, isn't it? Because of the way he can connect with young people and inspire them to want to have fun. So don't think about it as a chore. You think about it as just a lot of fun.
Yeah, honestly, Joe's absolutely right. Yesterday, the kids got involved straight away. It's really bite-sized. You can do it in your living room. You can do it in your bedroom. You can get your family involved. And look, the truth is that if the government had tried to produce something like this on our own, it probably would have been, I'm sorry to say, like boring government video.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I've just turned up looking like this morning. It's like kind of a really good kind of physical manifestation of how boring government can be. And the great thing about this partnership we've got is we're putting some resource behind it so we can make more of these videos and they can be more freely available. But you've got, like, Joe's passion, energy, dynamism, that comes through in the clip we just saw briefly. You've got, the animators behind it who are absolutely amazing. Like, you see that through the images and some of the projects they've worked on before. Universal have come in to give it great music, and artists have kind of been falling over themselves to say, yeah, we want to be part of this. Because we've got 1 in 5 children leaving primary school with obesity. So getting children active, getting them out and about, and also meeting kids where they are. Lots of them are on YouTube. They're doom scrolling like the rest of us, I'm sorry to say. I've got nieces and nephews, and they're on their tablets all the time. And so if we're meeting these kids where they are and giving them something fun and easy to engage with and motivational, then we're keeping them active, and it, as Joe describes, helps to create healthy mind, body and soul.
Yeah. It's so funny when you say, you've got Joe helping you out and you're the sensible one. But, I mean, it is a really serious matter. I mean, 1/3 of children are obese. Would you ever consider the weight loss jabs as a factor into that, and could that help at some stage?
We're not looking at them for children at this stage.
Right.
But adults, yes. And actually, there are lots of people in our country at the moment who suffer with really serious obesity. And lots of people have tried, by the way, on some of the weight loss programmes, on diet changes, on exercise. But some people have reached a point where it just feels like too big a mountain to climb. And that's why I think weight loss jabs can play a role. It's really important that you get advice from a doctor. It's really important that they're not just available to people who can afford to fork out what can sometimes be about £2,500 a year for these jabs. So I'm working with the NHS to try and make them more widely available. But for children, I think we can get this right first time if we do a whole range of things, like what Joe's doing, getting kids more fit and active, with schools, some of the work we're funding in schools on PE and games to make it fun and accessible. That's all going to make a difference. Acting on things like the targeting of junk food advertising at children and young people, that's going to make a difference. The work we're doing to make sure that school breakfast clubs, school meals are much more nutritious, that's going to make a difference. So all these things taken together, I think, are necessary to tackle what threatens to be a really serious obesity crisis for our country. It's costing the NHS about £10 billion a year.
Yeah.
Joe, your PE with Joe was such a massive hit during the lockdown because everybody was stuck at home and the kids were able to get involved. Have you noticed the sort of drifting away of children in terms of their fitness and what they're doing activity-wise? And what do you think the government needs to be doing more of to try and get kids engaged and trying to reverse some of the issues we've got with obesity?
Yeah, look, I've obviously visited hundreds of schools, and my only dream is that I could visit every school. But when I realised I couldn't, that's when the animation idea came up. It's scalable and it's accessible, it's free. It can be like 5 minutes at home with your kids or in between a lesson at school. And it's just like, it's just giving more children more opportunity to move. And, we live in a world now where, as a parent, like, I'm also addicted to my device. Like you said, like, we're addicted to our devices, so are kids. The algorithms are so sticky, you want to be on it. And it's like, how can I disrupt that passive viewing on screen time and make it an active thing. So you might do one workout with the kids and you might go, you know what, I feel great, I'm doing another one, and suddenly you've done 15 minutes of exercise. So although 5 minutes is like a bite-sized chunk, it could really be a catalyst for more exercise and more movement. But look, the food thing is that, you know, I'm working on a documentary at the moment around UPF, and that's a big challenge. My eyes are being open to something completely different. Ultra-processed foods and marketing and all that. So we need to have a talk about that another time.
Yeah,
but
we should.
Essentially, like, it's about education, it's about inspiration, it's about giving people resources. You know, and this is one of, you know, I'm really proud that I'm sitting here with you, Wes, because I would have done this anyway. I self-funded this. No one really wanted to invest in it. We self-funded the first 5 episodes, and I would have done this anyway. But the fact that you've given us the seal of approval and you're helping us get it in front of more people means you believe in it, and it's going to make an impact. This is money well spent. You know, this is an animation that actually is really going to create an impact, and I'm so happy that it's actually come to life. You know, it's been a long time. It's been a 2-year journey. And here we are.
It's fantastic that you're doing it. As you pointed out, I think childhood obesity is costing the NHS £11 billion a year. There's huge issues that we've got. It would be remiss of us not to ask a couple of questions on some other stuff. So we've got the health secretary here, if that's OK. We've been...
I'll give Joe the difficult ones.
Yeah, Joe could take this. But we're talking about our campaign that we've been running for the last few days about cosmetic treatments. We've surveyed over 2,000 women, trying to understand what is happening in this really unregulated industry. Over 50% of the women said that they had to be referred to get some medical advice after they'd had some treatment. 15% ended up in hospital, needing hospital care after they had the treatment. What the question everybody's asking is, how on earth have we got to the point where there is no regulation and these things are able to happen? Because this is, again, costing the NHS millions of pounds.
And it's really shocking. And I take my hat off to the women who've been brave enough as well to come and sit on this sofa, to share their stories in the media, to actually try and make sure this doesn't happen to other women, and to share those experiences which have been personally painful and harrowing for lots of these women. So you're right. I mean, because of the lack of regulation, we've basically got cosmetic cowboys that are basically, I would not even use the word treating women, they are practising on women and causing serious catastrophic damage. So we are going to act, and in the coming days and weeks, we're going to be setting out the regulations we're going to put in place to clamp down on this sort of practice here at home. But there's also this issue about overseas as well, whether that's not just women, but men and women going abroad for cosmetic procedures. We've had some really awful stories where people go away, take up an offer that looks too good to be true, to be honest, come back. The NHS has to pick up the pieces, and those poor people are left picking up the pieces in terms of their lives. Got people importing cosmetics as well.
So this is one of the things. So we had Kaylee on yesterday, who was injected with an anti-wrinkle treatment that had been imported from Korea, not licensed over here, eminently available on the internet, eminently available via this practitioner. I just want to play you a little clip of what she said on the show.
And I thought at one point I was going to end up going blind because my eyes were so bad. I couldn't leave the house. I was crying every day. Could barely open my eyes. I could only see from the bottom of my eyes.
Is the expectation it will recover?
They said I've got to wait for my nerves to regenerate. I wish I'd never done it. It wasn't worth it. So
she was driving her little boy to school. She got another baby in the back driving, and all of a sudden had double vision.
We need what is clearly apparent is, and you're saying in the coming weeks and months, regulation needs to come in, but it's urgent. It's really, really urgent. You know,
so you'll see. I mean, you'll see in a matter of days the regulation we're going to take to clamp down on some of the misconduct here at home. When it comes to clamping down on practice overseas, that's more challenging. When it comes to things that are imported...
But unlicensed stuff that's being imported as well.
That's more of a challenge, but I am working across government to try and tackle it because, you know, and in the meantime, what I'd say to people watching is, like, the thing about the UK high street or online retailers that are in the UK is that you can be confident that the products that are being sold are products that are regulated here in the UK, meet safety standards and are safe to use. Like if you walk into Boots on the high street today, you can be confident about that. If you're importing things from overseas, you can't have that confidence. And if you're seeing things that look too good to be true, chances are they're too good to be true, and you don't want to be in that situation where you're on this morning saying, I really wish I hadn't done that. So in the meantime, I'd urge people, you know, be really careful about what you buy, stick to what you know at home, and, you know, friends, family, if you're having those sorts of conversations, give people that advice. But ultimately, we've got a responsibility to act and to try and keep people safe. So we'll keep you posted on what we're doing.
I mean, there are also those people who aren't lucky enough to sit on the sofa, actually. We've lost
loads
people.
and loads of women.
There's a chap called Dane Knight who came on the show. Take a look at this clip. He's talking about his wife.
She was a loving, caring mother of 5.
Yeah.
She was loved and adored by many in the community and beyond. Which that showed on, you know, on her day when she was put to rest. Yeah, I didn't know it was too late until we got a call from the hospital. Yeah, I think I would hate to see another family go through, you know, more kids saying, you know, burying their mum. Yeah. Another partner burying their partner. I know, such as Ashton Safe Faces has been trying to push this now for a long time, which we didn't know, but it's just not common knowledge. More needs to be done.
So tragically, Alice lost her life in 2024. At the time, you said you were committed to taking action against those carrying out these procedures. This is your quote. It's absolutely disgusting that there are Wild West operators practising actually dangerously in cosmetic surgery, putting people's lives at risk, and we've seen that in the tragic case of Alice.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Dane's going to be joining us tomorrow.
Children.
What can we tell Dane that you've done as Health Secretary since this happened in 2024?
So we're pretty much ready to regulate, to take action here at home. When it comes to overseas practices, that is more complicated, but we are working on it, and I'll keep coming back to.
So when will we get? But I mean, you're telling us there's something coming in a couple of days, but of course that's quite vague as well. When will they? Can you give us any idea what those specifics will be? The regulation may be the sort of what could happen to people if they aren't regulated. They're doing these. They are those cowboys and they get caught.
Yeah. So in the coming days, we're going to set out the regulation we'll be putting in place to clamp down on these sorts of
this week,
cosmetic cowboys. Probably in the next week or so. I always have to get permission from the bosses in terms of when we're putting stuff out. But over the next week or so, you should hear from the government on what we're doing to clamp down on cosmetic cowboys here at home. When it comes to overseas, it's more complicated, but I am working with the team across government and also with other governments around the world to help try and clamp down on this, and we'll keep you posted. But the other thing I just wanted to say, I mean, just hearing Dane speaking there and the thought of 5 children being left behind because they've lost their mother in these circumstances, that motivates me to act. And I hope that for people watching as well, it's just that really the worst possible reminder when you're seeing things being marketed online. Just think really carefully before you take up things that look too good to be true.
There is an urgency, isn't there? Much like what Joe's doing with Activate and what you're combining with, the urgency to get things moving for childhood obesity is really important, as is this. So I hope you understand why we wanted to ask you those questions.
No, quite right, too, yeah.
Have you done a session with Wes yet, Joe? Have you done
We went to a school yesterday and we got the kids moving. I was so enthralled with the kids. I don't know if you've done any burpees, but this isn't also just a thing about obesity. This is more than just the external. This isn't just about the body. We have kids with serious anxiety, depression, getting pulled out of school. Yeah. They're really struggling. So this is about holistic approach. This is about encouraging movement for the mind. Because when you get the mind right, the body will follow, the transformation will come, and food choices will improve. The family's energy lifts. Like, this is so much more than just about body image and weight loss. You know, I think we need to talk about that a bit as well. Because kids are struggling a lot. You know, this will help. This is going to make them laugh as well.
But they can find all the episodes of Activate on your YouTube channel.
Yeah. So the YouTube channel, the first workout went live today. I think it's had like 10,000 views in the past hour. So it's on the Body Coach TV, and then every week there'll be a new episode all through summer holidays. And we've released it now because parents really struggle to get kids moving in the summer holidays. So 1 a week for 5 weeks. We'll have a little break, and there's more to come. More moves, more exercises, more challenges, and it's really, really a positive thing. So give your kids a chance to give it a go, and yourself. Ben, you're already in great shape. Have one, see what you think, and have a go as well.
I like the idea of the next cabinet meeting starting with a little Activate session. Get the whole cabinet.
Yeah, you won't be seeing those pictures.
But you could do it, though.
It's a serious point, though. I mean, I find like one of the hardest things I've found about the impact of sort of my job since I've taken it on in government the last year. You know, as you know, I went through kidney cancer years ago, and I started to get much more active, thinking much more about my diet. The nature of my job means, like, my exercise has suffered, like, you know, you sort of grab and go stuff. We've been talking about this with Joe going around the country. So look, I suppose in some ways the great thing about being Health Secretary and responsible for the nation's health is that my own starting point is a lot different to you two. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
So I'm probably not going to be on the front of Men's Health in quite the way that you.
Why don't we make that the challenge, though, Wes?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
42.
You're 42. Honestly, there is no
way
way that you can't turn that round. And as Joe will know, it's not about the picture at the end, it's the journey, it's what it gives you.
Absolutely right, and that's the other thing I just want to say to people watching as well, is please don't think that like it's all about spending hours in the gym every day or getting rid of everything that you enjoy, like a pint with your mates down the pub, or getting rid of like the chocolates and the guilty snack. You don't have to get rid of all of that. Like just a little goes a long way. So if we can all just get our activity up, like, you know, do half an hour walk a day, do a bit of swimming, like just every time I manage to get in the pool or go to the gym, it's not just about my waistline, it's also about, you know, my mental health as well.
One last thing, just for the record, like, it is aimed at kids, right? But you could be a 50-year-old, 60-year-old, 70-year-old person at home now thinking, oh, you know what, I wish I had a bit of movement, a bit of music. You've got Elton John. I mean, Elton John, I'm Still Standing, one of my favourite songs of all time. Like, I was at Glastonbury watching him perform the most amazing set. To think that I've got that song on the launch episode. So you're going to love the music. It's a 5-minute little movement break, and it doesn't matter what age you are, it's going to lift your mood. You're going to really love it. And the little moments of humour. I'm so proud of it, and thanks for supporting it. And
you should be, Joe. And honestly, if the government had tried to do this ourselves, it wouldn't be as good as this. And it's really important. If we're going to make a genuinely healthier nation, we've got to swing in behind the people that are doing the good stuff and pulling in behind people as the government. And that's exactly what we've done here. And this is what gives me hope that we can actually tackle the obesity crisis, make our country healthier. It's about a team effort that involves government working, people like Joe, business, civil society, and all of us as individuals doing that little bit day by day, step by step.
Absolutely.
I've just had a message from the editor of Men's Health saying you're on 8 years' time. Wes Streeting front cover.
Joe will help you. You stitched me right.
Joe will help you.
The office is going to love the wait till I get back. It is like everyone else's day.
It's just for everyone watching, right? It's about breaking it down. Just last thing I want to say. Keep it simple. It's in the day, right? Don't think about tomorrow. It's like it's one work at a time, one meal at a time, one food choice at a time. It's too overwhelming to think of it. It's like just small, simple things. Sleep, movement, and a bit more home cooking will change your life in so many ways.
Thank you both for coming in. It's great to see you. Good luck with it all. It's going to be brilliant.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.